Now this part is the part that's a little hard to get. You got to get these bits out. They're not the easiest to do.
I swear, if I mess this up,
because of the weight.
You gotta be kidding me!
This figure is still a good figure. What part of that didn't This is Earthrise Scorpononic, and that's a tub that has a bunch of my stuff in it.
If you smell what the rock is
Hey everybody, welcome to Review Time with Islip. I am Islip, and today we're going to be taking a look at the X-Transbots Master X Series 85 something scientist Jannsen. So this is their take on a masterpiece styled Perceptor, and yeah, he's pretty good. If I'm going to be honest, he's pretty good. I'm not even going to wait for the review to start to say that. However, he is not without his flaws, but between the X-Transbots version, which was $139, versus the Fans Toys version for $250. Yeah, no, this guy was a much better deal, and honestly, I think he looks better. Again, not without his issues, which seems Fans Toys has taken care of. But there's honestly, I don't like the colors. I don't like the way it looks for the not the X-Transbots, the Fans Toys. So I went with X-Transbots, and I'll be honest with you, I think so far to date, out of all the figures that I've owned from X-Transbots, I think they've come a very long way. This figure felt great. If you remember my first X-Transbots video ever, that was their Devastator add-on set, and that thing was horrible. So horrible that I wish that the company had gone out of business, that they would have lost all their money and got out of business. I was so mad for the wasted $50. And look how far they've come. They've really turned it around to the point where, I mean, I'm still, anytime I hear X-Transbots, unfortunately, I still have that bad taste in my mouth, but then I remember some of their other figures, and I'm like, okay. So, enough jibber-jabbing. There's lots of words. There's a bunch of stuff in very, very stylized script, which, read it if you want to. Old-timey tech spec thing, read it if you want to. I don't care for it. It doesn't matter to me. And here we go. Some more reflective, very hard to read. Right? It's not very hard to read. It's just annoying. And then you see the picture of the minifigures that you get, because you do get some minifigures with this guy. And we'll go ahead and open up the box. In the box, you do, of course, get your instruction booklet, and it is actually a booklet. It's actually pretty helpful, if I'm honest. Then you get a X-Transbots preview booklet, which is printed. Is it upside down? Oh, I don't know what happens. Halfway, somewhere in here, it flips upside down. But it's got some really neat stuff in it. Oops. There is also a sheet that fell out that I hadn't noticed before. take a look at it. It tells you about the amp crunch, which you don't know about. It tells you about the weapon, which in order to fire, you don't push the trigger down, you pull it backwards, which is weird, but okay. And it tells you the different ways that the rulers go in the different modes. You also get a card. I don't care about cards, I hate cards, but you get one, and you get this styrofoam. He comes packaged in robot mode, so the box is actually fairly small. You get all your stuff on the outside, all your what do you call it? Accessories come on the outside of the box. So you got beaker, which can also be turned upside down and used as a wine glass, or I don't know, with a flask, beaker. You get your little various things. You get your robot faces. Let's turn the lights up a little bit. Hold on. Okay, so you get your various robot faces. Inside here is where the robot would be, and that's where I store the little minifigures. I'm gonna pull them out because we're gonna take a look at them in a little bit. As a matter of fact, we'll probably take a look at them right after. I hate the sound styrofoam makes. You get 2 IDW head sculpts, which look pretty nice. I'm not an IDW fan, so normally I wouldn't care, but I'll be honest with you, they are pretty nice. And you know, with a little trouble, because it's a bit of a trouble to get the heads popped off and get the new ones popped on, it looks pretty nice. You cannot transform him into his alt modes with these heads on. You have to take them off. Now each one of these heads has a piece on it that depresses. Let me see if I can show you that. I have not figured out why it does it for it. If you look, it depresses. Like, I don't know if it was supposed to. Sometimes it stays, it turns. I don't know what it's for. I don't think it's for transformation, but it's there. You also get your various guns. You get a G1 missile gun. You get G1 toy rifle gun, and then you get your G1 tune gun that he had in the cartoon. So let's move this. Now when I transform him into his robot mode, you're gonna notice that his face is missing. They tend to pop out really easily, when you're transforming them. So I just opted to leave it off. So we'll go ahead and give me a second. I didn't think this part through. All right, this will make it easier. We got a little stand here. Put it right there. Sorry about the reflectiveness right down here. We're gonna go take a look at the minifig. So you get a little microscope, which is actually pretty cool. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. A little microscope, and when I say little, there's my finger, and it is very well sculpted. This doesn't really move, but it's there. I thought it did for some reason. But you have your mini microscope. You have your Perceptor in his, whoops, that's too big, robot mode. And for size comparison, let me grab out, I want to grab out a core class figure so you can get an idea of how small he really is. Like, he is tiny. And there's a decent amount of detail on it. They even drew in the eyes, which, okay, they're in there kind of funny looking. They're just round. Sorry, my hand keeps moving. And he has a ball jointed arm. Sorry. Ball jointed arm. Let's tilt the camera up a little bit. His arms get a little wiggly waggly. They bend 90 degrees. He has a little ball jointed head, which gets you some movement. His little thing is, I don't know if it's on a bulb or if it's just on a swivel. Looks like it's just on a swivel. Goes up and down. Does he have an ab? He doesn't have an ab crunch, but he does have waist rotation. His legs go forward all the way, bend at the knee. They go back all the way. They go out about that far, and there is a ball jointed foot. So you have options for posability. Oops. Oh, it is a ball joint for his little whatchamacallit, his little microscope. Oops, let's move this over. So he is pretty cool and pretty tiny. Like, I can barely make out that he has features, but he does. Let me see if I can I zoom in on your face a little bit more. That's as zoomed in as I can get. Let me see if I can bring it a little closer. So it's got a little paint marring, as well, not paint marring, but it's got a little paint overspray on the crust, but for the most part that looks pretty nice. We have ourselves a little Brawn, who's one of his legs is very loose. Actually, when I got him out the box, his right leg was not attached. But we have Monsieur Braun there. Hopefully that's coming out really clear. He has the same articulation. Head is, well, actually I don't know if his head is on a ball. It can turn left and right a little bit. Arms are on a ball joint. Rotation. Bend at the arms. Rotation at the waist. Legs go forward all the way, back all the way, out about that far. Knees bend a little less than 90, and he does have an ankle pivot. So, but his legs pop off the ball joints really easily. So, I mean, it's nice that they came with it. They were little free little figures. They didn't add to the cost or anything, which is something that I like when little figures don't add. Like, Takara gives you little figures and they bump up the price like $100,000. X-Transbots did it and it cost almost nothing, really. Okay, so we got that one. And then the last little figure is Monsieur Bumblebee. I think he's the smallest of the figures. Let's see, are they in? Yeah, he's a little bit smaller than Braun. And let's see, he is a lot smaller. So they even got size order. Now, Bee's face is a little messed up. They missed the mark with the little two circly lead dots that they used to make the eyes. They are a little too far down and sideways, but I can forgive them because they didn't really need to paint anything at all. At least they tried, and the articulation is exactly the same as the other guys, so I'm not going to do it again. Here he is next to a core class Optimus Prime, and that's actually about the scale. When you look at the cartoon, a lot of times Bumblebee was about this height to Optimus Prime. So, I mean, this works well with the Legends scale. So, let's get that out of the way. And we're gonna put these guys away, actually. So let's go ahead and bring in Jannsen, and we're gonna bring in Jannsen, and here is Jannsen in his little rolling turret cannon mode. Now everybody calls it a tank mode, and this is not a tank. Somewhere around here I'll put up a picture of the original micro change Perceptor. Originally he was black. I don't know if the picture I'm going to put up is going to be the black one or it's going to be the red one, but he had a third configuration that he didn't have in the G1 cartoon, which was this rolling gun platform thing, cannon mode. And now his scope was a lot thicker back then, but it's set up like this, and people think it's a tank, and it's actually not a tank. And I'll tell you why. Because a tank encloses the occupants. So you open it up, you get inside, you close it, it offers you some protection. This is what the micro change thing did. You put a little G.I. Joe size figure. Okay, RC is a little bit bigger than G.I. Joe, but I have no access to my 4-inch scale figure, so this is going to have to do. And you set them on here, and they would pilot this thing and use this to shoot. So that's what this mode is all about. Not the best mode. The reason I started with this mode is because I wanted to get that out the way. Also, when you're putting this mode together, let me take this out. If you decide to do this mode for some reason, make sure that you're not sliding like, oh shoot, it went all the way in. You don't want to slide these pegs all the way in, because the tolerances on a few of them have been a wee bit tight, and people have had breakage with theirs. So that's that. Let's go ahead and get him into his, I'm gonna say microscope mode. Now, when I was a kid, I wanted a Perceptor. And I wanted a Perceptor because I was really into science when I was a kid. And I mean, you had a toy that turned from a robot into, I believe the commercial said, a working microscope.
Introducing Perceptor. From a working microscope, he transforms into a robot.
You know, I'll have to look it up, but I believe it said it was a real working microscope, and it kind of did work. It wasn't as powerful as a real microscope was, but it had a scope that you could use to see smaller things a little bit bigger. So for me, that was kind of cool. So now, if you're going from robot mode, obviously the steps are going to be different, but from this mode, you're just going to unpeg these, and we're going to bring them down for now. Make sure that these are extended, and then bring them down like that. We're going to rotate this whole piece, and then this whole piece is on a slider, so we're going to slide it. We're going to slide his crotch forward so it looks like that. So slide it forward like this, and then we're going to go ahead and close these bits up. So push these little bits in all the way around, all the way around, and then untab these carefully, and these will untab this and move it this way. You can move these bits in, so this way this will go down, and you can close that up. Then we're going to take these rolly thingies, roll them back, fold them up like so. I think they're supposed to fold up more, but we're not going to fight it. And these open this up, rotate this around, straighten out the foot, toe, and give me a second to figure this out. There we go. Okay, had it backwards. There we go. So rotate this like that, close that up, and then we're going to straighten this out like this. Bring the toes forward. so that your leg looks like this. Take the wheels. The wheels, you don't put them in. You take them, angle them like so, and then push them down so that they have sort of a locking point to keep them from going all the way down. And we're going to do the same on the other leg. We're going to zoom. There we go. Not zoom, focus. So push this in like so. Move the wheel, and we'll get the wheel in its proper position now so that we can unpeg this and slide this on over, letting you put the tank treads into the leg. We're going to, take the wheel, bring it over, and collapses down. Rotates. What are we gonna do? We're going to rotate this, right? Am I doing this right? Oh, no, we're just going to put the leg in like so and bring down the toe. Oh, no, we did that wrong. This goes like that. Bring down the toe, there we go. And then we're going to take him and pull these legs out, rotate them like so. Now this is the tricky part. These have to plug into there while simultaneously these have to plug into the legs there. So get these like so, push them in. This is one of the difficult parts. There we go. Trying to get that all lined up. There we go. And that's in. That's in, I said. Okay. So try to get these bits into the little slots there first, and then bring this over. And like I said, you have to kind of try to get everything into where it's supposed to be, because give me a second. Okay, so we have that. Now we have to take these bits. Now, the original toy, the arms didn't rotate inward like this, but you take these and rotate them around and bring them back down. Get that out of the way for now. And actually, you're supposed to, these bits here plug into the side of this black piece here. So do that and lift you up, rotate you around, bring it out, bring it down. Okay, like that. And we got to get all this back together because we unplugged it all. So we've got these. Whew. Okay, so then we want to pull this down like so, and this comes up, and there's a little tab right here that goes into a slot, a hole there. So we'll go ahead and get that done, and then we'll repeg everything all over again. So there we go, and now we've got our microscope mode. Yay! There you go, and you can turn this little doohickey to extend the thing to zoom in, and yay! Now I've seen some people transform him with these out, and you're not supposed to. Although in the original toy, you had the toy already had treads. They didn't go in anywhere, so you had a microscope with treads, which is a little weird, but hey. But here we go. We have our little microscope. Well, it's little to a human, but to a robot in disguise, it's not that tiny. Here we go with Masterpiece Red Alert. So you can see that he is a chunky bot in alt mode. So yeah, I don't know if the microscope works. Actually, let me see if I can. I mean, there's a lens on now. I mean, there's you can kind of see through the whole thing, but it's everything's blurred. It's not meant to be functional. So you got that. You got that, and like I said, once you put him down, usually, I mean, once you put him down, he's fine. It's just that the tabs don't stay too well in this mode for some reason. They don't stay too well if you mess with it. So, there we go. So yeah, you got your little microscope, and you can, I don't know, when I was a kid, I was weird. This thing had a lot more appeal as a microscope than it does to me today. I mean, it's pretty neat, you know, but yeah, so I guess we'll just go into the robot mode. There's not really much to say about it, so we'll go ahead and close that up. We will go ahead and rotate these bits and straighten them out so that they will plug and tab in. We will go ahead and put the wheels away. Do the same thing on the other side. Get the legs straightened out, or rotate them around till you get them to where they're supposed to be. Straighten them out and plug them in. And then straighten these out. Bring the toes forward. And that's that. So the legs are done. Slide the hip back like so. Hopefully you saw that. I think you did. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and unplug this and leave this mess to the back. We're going to go ahead and pull these bits out here. Undo these tabs first, and then move these here. And then we're going to, let's raise this up. There we go, so we have some room to work with. Now this part is the part that's a little hard to get. You got to get these bits out. They're not the easiest to do because of the weight. No! Hold on, let me see if I can fix this real quick. Okay, I got ahead and fixed it. So thankfully I didn't even strip the screw. I pulled the whole arm assembly out because I did that in the wrong order. So you have to move the head, you have to move the inside bits first. So let's see if I can show you. So all of this stuff was like this. So you want to bring this up, bring the head up, and there's this little red piece here. You want to straighten that out before you start trying to straighten these pieces out. Normally they're bent like this, and then inside a little bit more, and then you pull them out. But I did, because of the way I did it. Let's see if I can get it back in there. Can I get you back in there? So this has to go like this. and it's in like that. So it's kind of bent in, and then you bring it out and straighten it out like this. So pay attention to what you're doing and you won't have an accident. Thankfully, I would have been pissed off if I would have broke that. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we left this up. There's another piece in here that's gotta lift up as well. You might need a tool to do it. Maybe not. Let's see. See if I can get a tool. So yeah, there's a slight issue with clearance. It's not a huge issue, but it's an issue nonetheless. Alrighty, so it's a pain in the butt. You're probably gonna need a tool to do it. Let me lift this up a little bit more. And show you that, which side is it? This side here. So this side here, this piece is all the way under here, but as you can see, the torso keeps sliding down due to gravity. So trying to get it out is hard. You have to push up at the same time as get in there and pull things out, and that's just really hard to do. So you do that. Flip this up here. These bits here, we're gonna have to turn his waist sideways. Let's see. Turn his waist sideways. It'll give you a little clearance so you can push this down like this, turn it like this, and then slide it in. Do the same thing on this side. Push his arm kibble stuff. Oh, make sure that tab is out of the way. Push that up. Bring this down so that you can pivot this in. Fold it in to make his sides. Oh. Okay, and if you haven't, rotate the waist all the way around. I know that seemed like a bit of a mess. I apologize. So bring his arms down for the moment, just so that they are not in the way. Bring this down, fold this so it's folded over like this. Push that down, rotate his faceless head around like so, then come under here. And this bit here in his other modes will be folded like this. So you want to straighten it out. Straighten it out like that. We'll leave that up in the air. That can go down. And then we are going to focus. Take this, bring it over, don't put the arm up yet. Bring this all the way down and take this little armature, make it go forward, and then slide this over like that, and then this piece up like this. Bring this down, then you bring all the rest of this, shoot, that hurt, into place. Into place. Bring this armature up, close it, and now this should plug in better. There we go, plugs in. Thought I had it, did I not have you? Yeah, you plug it in, and now pretty stable. Okay, so make sure you do that first. Don't do like I did. I did it backwards. Straighten the head out, close that, close this, pop this down. Let's go ahead and get him a face. Where are you, faces? There we go. Okay, we got him a face, and now he just needs hands. So go ahead and lift up these panels here, and then unfold that panel there. This panel goes down. This panel goes here. Open up the hands like so. And you've got a hand done. Now we go for the second hand. So this comes out. This cart comes up. Flip it that way, flip this in, close this down, and then situate your fingers however you want to. And that is your Perceptor done, or actually my Perceptor, because you have to get your own. There we go. And he is a pretty nice looking Perceptor. Zoom out a little bit. That's too much. There we go. And there we have Perceptor. And he looks pretty good. His hands are a little weird. We'll go over the everything in a minute, but he looks pretty good. He's a decent height. Here he is next to a masterpiece car. Crap, I've got everybody. So here he is next to. Woo, fall down. Here's next to the Fans Toys RC. If I can get her to stand up. Would you stand, please? Such a pain in the butt to stand up. Go. Needed to get her out the way so I could get my, I forget who made this, but my upscaled masterpiece Grimlock. So there's that, and we will be able to get out our masterpiece Optimus Prime now, because everybody was in a line in a way that I could not get to. So here he is next to Masterpiece Optimus Prime, and I think that's a good scale. And yeah. So there he is scale-wise, and let's go ahead and take these guys out. Go over articulation really quick. So his little thingy bobber obviously can go in and out. It plugs in here at the shoulder, and it plugs really good when you got it correct. I don't quite have it correct. When you have it correct, it plugs in well. It goes up and down a little bit. You can always also disengage it from there if you need to get more, get that up higher. His head looks up and down. There's no side to side, but it rotates 360 degrees. And it would probably look better if I had it in the middle. His arms rotate on a ratchet 360 degrees. They go out that far. They rotate at the upper bicep. There is a double bend. His hands can go flat out, and that helps out with getting guns in his hands. He has a thumb that bends at a weird angle. He's got 2 points of articulation in his thumb. It also rotates this way for some reason. It is not a very fun thing to work with. His hands, he's got 1 individual finger that can do its own thing, and it's articulated at 2 points. And then the rest of the hand is typewriter fingers together. And you can make a fist if you need to. You can make a better fist if you move his thumb out the way. So yeah, you can do that. He has a rotation here, 360. There is an ab crunch right there. So you do get an ab crunch if you need it. His legs go out all the way. They go forward all the way. They go backward almost all the way. He's got looks like a double knee. Yeah, he's got a double knee, so he gets you about that far. His toes move in different ways. They're not going to help you with standing though. And his heel piece moves a little bit, and also he's got ankle tilt. Now, because of the way his feet are, his toes are, a lot of times if you're not very careful, because they're not ratcheted toes, if you tilt them forward, sometimes he'll just keep on going. So there's that. Also, another kind of nitpick, not the biggest nitpick in the world, but there is a bit of a nitpick. Hold on a second. This here has a tendency to separate a little bit. You just push it back. It is what it is. It's a fairly decent figure. I really have no idea what I was talking about beforehand, but it's a fairly decent figure. Again, it's $100 less than the X-Transbots version. It comes with a lot of stuff. Guns. That's what we're gonna go about. Guns. All right, so we'll take his little pistol here, open his hand up all the way. This is gonna be a long video to edit. Open his hand up, well, not all the way. Open his hand up like this. Bring the pistol this way so that you get his fingers, because just with the pistol, everything else you can just put it straight on. But you want to curl his fingers. Whoops. Son of a gun. Okay. So you want to curl his fingers around the grip a little bit just to get in that space, and then you can plug it in here, and then there you go. Now with the other guns, let me grab another gun real quick. Grab this, put it together real quick. Now mine is not it's very loose, but you know, super glue or, you know, a little piece of paper in there will do ya. So you just take this and you plug it in, and you can see it's a good fit. And you can wrap his fingers around. There we go. Thumb's in the way. Wrap the fingers around. You've got yourself your other gun. He's got one of his G1 guns. Like I said, it's really loose. He also has a third gun, and they're on these little chutes. There are these little thingies that these little trays. That's pretty nice. Let's see if I can get, there we go. 1 off, 2 off. So you have a little gun here, and it does shoot. Again, you have to pull the trigger backwards. That actually had some force behind it. But you know, you've got your other gun. What else? We will go with a face. So you have an IDW head, a bunch of faces, of course, and almost forgot, you have a blast effect. For those of you who like blast effects, I don't care about these things, if I'm honest with you, but there you go. You've got Perceptor blasting away at some Decepticons. He's a pretty nice figure. $139, not a bad deal for a masterpiece Perceptor, especially considering the alternative will set you back $250. So yeah, and you get a lot of accessories. You don't need them, but you got them. So that said, I'm Icelet. Thank you for sticking with me through this mess of a review. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope life is treating you good. And ciao.